All right, so let's continue on with our inventory spreadsheet. So in this video, we are going to take a look at entering some very simple formulas. And I just wanted to talk a bit about how it all works, the very kind of basics of it. Okay, so before I started this video, again, I went ahead and I entered manually some data in here, and you can enter whatever you like, or you can copy what I have here. Really, it doesn't matter in this video. All it matters is that you have some names here and you have some numbers here and here. Okay, so I'd like you to pause the video right now so that you can fill in your columns with some data. All right, so what we have here under name is the name of the product. Quantity per box is the number of items in each box, and then the number of boxes here. And here we want the total number of the product in altogether. Okay, so what I would do here in total number is enter a formula. So I can go equals. So make sure that you always enter equals when you're entering a formula. Okay, then Excel recognizes that this is a formula you're entering. If you don't enter formula, if you don't enter the equal sign, then it doesn't recognize it as a formula. So let's begin by the most important thing, which is the equal sign. You can see that it shows up here, also shows up in your formula bar. And here we go. You can go B4. You can just click on it instead of typing in B4. And then I'm going to go times or asterisk. Okay, the star sign there. C4. Okay, so that times, so when I click on it, it shows me, when I double click on it, it shows me what it's doing. So the B4 over here, which is in blue, times C4. Okay, so very quickly and visually you can see what is happening here. It's B4 times C4. Okay, and I have to press enter. If I don't press enter and I just kind of click onto the next cell, sometimes it tends to add onto that formula. And you see that it doesn't do it in this case, but sometimes it tends to do that if you don't press enter. Okay, so again, let's try that again. Okay, so I'm going to click here, double click in here, equals B5 times C5. Now I have to press enter. If I don't press enter and I kind of click to another cell, like the one I want to navigate to, then it kind of picks up on that cell. So that's what I was trying to tell you in the last example. So you have to make sure that it is indeed the only two cells that you want in your formula. And then you have to press enter instead of clicking to another cell to navigate somewhere else. Okay, so instead of doing that multiple times, you can see that this is a pattern. It's really this cell times this cell for each row. So it's, column 4 times column 5. So Excel would recognize that. So actually, if you just go, so I'm just going to go in here and delete that. Okay, so if you go to the first one that you had entered, go to the corner and click and drag, it will autofill that for you. Okay, so I'm just going to check to make sure that it is using the correct cells to multiply. So I'm going to click in D5. You can see this is D5, and it's B5 times C5. Okay, so that's B5 here times C5. If you want like a quicker visual way to check, you can double click and you can see that yes, it is multiplying the correct cells. Same here. All right, and so on. All right, so the next thing I like to do is to show you, some other formulas that are already in Excel. So you don't have to always manually type things in. You can go pick a prepared formula for you. So here I'm going to go total. Okay, so this is the total here. Okay, and then here I want to have the total of all this. So I'm going to go equals sum is a formula. Okay, so I can just type in sum because I know it's a formula, and then I can click and drag, equals sum, and then I'm going to put a bracket there, and then I can click and drag and select and close the parentheses. So D4 to D7, I'm going to find the sum of this. All right, and that is the sum of. All right. So how do I know that is the right formula? I just know it because I've used it quite a bit. However, you can also go equals and pick here, okay? And you can use the this window that opens for you to pick which ones you want, okay? So you can pick from D4 to D7, and then enter, and then go OK. Okay, so that gives you the same result. It's just if you need a little bit of help with the formula, then I'm just letting you know that you can go to, you know, the function here and allow it to help you. Okay, and don't worry, we'll take a look at this in more detail as the course goes on. There will be more complex functions and formulas that we will be using. But for the simple ones like, you know, multiplying, adding, finding the sum of, finding the average of, it's quite simple to use. It's something that you could, you know, type in yourself here in the formula, and I find that that's actually easier for me to use than to use the wizard that pops up for me. Okay. So other things I like to talk about and also explain to you in the textbook is the fact that, you know, the order of operations, right? So of course, anything in parentheses will get calculated first. Okay, so if you want to add something first and then multiply it, then you would put that in the parentheses first and then multiply it. Okay, and please refer to your textbook. There is a lot of reading in there that I'm not going to cover in my PowerPoint lectures, but you're still required to know, so please do your readings there. And then the class exercises and the quizzes will also test you on your knowledge of the material in the textbook. All right, so please watch all the other videos as well and follow through with your class exercises and homework, and keep following along. Okay, if you have any questions, make sure that you get a hold of me during class, or if outside of class time, shoot me an email and we can set up a private session together.